All right, we'll see what happens there. But let's pivot to Ms. Shalenge. That is position 8 on our trial calendar. It's 26 SC 000-480. Ms. Shalenge is represented by Mr. Tiku, who is appearing from another jurisdiction. Ms. Smith is the prosecutor. And then I believe, if memory serves me correctly, there's a second case that's a misdemeanor, and I'll need that case number, so we're making a good record for that as well. Ms. Smith, do you have that case number?
I do, Judge. It is 25 CR 003136K.
K, as in special K.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. So Ms. Shalenge, I'm Judge McBurney. We've met before, but what we're going to do now is take a plea in your 2 cases. One involves felonies, that's the case with me, and the other is a misdemeanor case with Judge Wolf, but he and the prosecutors in that courtroom have agreed to have it handled here. In a moment, Ms. Smith is going to put you under oath, and then she will ask you questions about your rights, about the facts of the case, etc. You need to answer her truthfully and completely. You also need to let me know if at any point you cannot hear us because of technical difficulties, or if someone says something that confuses you or doesn't make sense. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have the right to be here in court, but you are choosing to appear, I'm assuming you're at home, but you're somewhere that's not in court. Are you waiving your right to be here in court?
I fully do not understand that question, but I am agreeing that I am online according to my lawyer.
Okay, and you're agreeing to appear for, are you at home?
Yes.
Okay, you're agreeing to appear from home, and you're not upset or unhappy that you're not here in the courtroom. Is that correct?
No, I'm not upset.
Okay. You also have the right to have Mr. Tiku right next to you, so you could turn your head and say, hey, what's going on? But you and he, Mr. Tiku, are agreeing that you're going to be in 2 different places. I can get you into a private breakout room, or you could drop off this call and talk to each other on the phone if you need to have a private conversation. But for now, you and Mr. Tiku are in different places while we do this plea. Are you upset or unhappy about that?
I am not upset about it. I actually agree for Mr. Tiku to answer for me as my lawyer.
Okay. And he will do that in some situations, but you will need to answer some of these questions as well. They'll be directed to you and not to Mr. Tiku, okay?
All right.
All right, Ms. Smith.
Thank you. Mr. Linjay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in the matter currently before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Please state your true, correct, and legal name for the court.
Kimberly Shalenge.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No, ma'am.
Is there any medication that you would normally take that you haven't been given today?
No.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
37. I graduated in Roswell High School in 2007.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney about all of the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment?
Yes.
Do you need more time to discuss your case with your attorney?
I don't know how to answer that question. With my attorney, we're part-time. So if anything further was to be done or said, I would take it up with my attorney.
So I'm going to ask it. I think I understand that, Ms. Shalenge, but I'm going to ask it in a different way. I know that you and Mr. Tiku have had an opportunity to discuss your cases. The question right now is whether you need more time right now to ask him questions, or if instead you were saying, hey, something may come up that I need to talk to him about. But as of right now, right this moment, I'm good and we can go forward.
I'm good with Mr. Tiku.
Okay, we'll go forward.
Counsel, are you satisfied that your client has a full understanding of this proceeding?
I am.
Do you also waive the formal reading of the indictment and any and all defects in the indictment for the purposes of this plea?
I do.
Mr. Linjay, do you remember being arrested on these charges?
I remember turning myself in.
Okay. The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Are you or your attorney aware of any outstanding warrants?
I am not.
I'm not.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea where the state and defense have agreed to a sentence of 5 years to serve 2 months with the balance probated?
Yes.
Are you aware that the court does not have to accept that recommendation and that the court can sentence you to the maximum on each charge and can run those sentences consecutively?
Yes. I think. Yes.
Okay.
Don't know, honestly. I don't know how to answer that question, but I would say.
Well, when Ms. Smith says, "Are you aware?" Another way she might be putting it is, "Do you understand that?" And what she said is correct. I have the ability and authority to sentence you in the manner that I think is reasonable and appropriate in this case. Your lawyer and Ms. Smith have agreed to a particular sentence, 5 years to serve 2 months with a balance on probation. They both think that's a reasonable sentence. I may agree with them, but if I don't agree with them, I can give you a different sentence up to the maximum in your case. That's what Ms. Smith was sharing with you.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Tiku. I do.
Okay, but you also understand that if I think that your lawyer got it wrong and a different sentence is appropriate, I can impose a different sentence. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you understand that if you're placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation for the balance of the sentence?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a guilty plea, which is permanently recorded on your criminal history?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're charged with a crime in the future, that this plea may be used to enhance that sentencing, including on a federal case?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation or parole, that your probation or parole may be revoked based on you entering this guilty plea today?
Yes.
Are you a United States citizen?
No.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction would at a trial? And this is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else.
Yes.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty? I'm sorry.
Did you have a question, Ms. Shalenge?
May I?
You may.
My residency. I didn't understand the last question she asked. Does that mean by me accepting this, my residency will be canceled?
So the best answer to that is Mr. Tiku doesn't know for sure, and certainly Ms. Smith and I don't know for sure. And so it's appropriate to alert you to the possibility that your guilty plea could result in your removal from the United States. Ms. Smith is not an immigration law expert. I certainly am not. Mr. Tiku may have experience in that field, but he wouldn't be the one who would decide whether there is a residency impact of these two pleas. And so Ms. Smith is doing the right thing here, which is putting you on notice that immigration authorities could decide after you enter your pleas in both these cases that that's going to have a negative effect on your ability to stay here in the United States. It's not a necessary, it may not happen, I don't know, but it could, and we want to make sure you're going into this with your eyes wide open, understanding that there could be consequences.
Okay.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be following a conviction from a trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect your right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, or the ability to obtain employment?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, you cannot use, receive, possess, transport, or own a firearm, and that if you did, you could be charged with another felony offense?
Yes.
Attorney Tiku, is Ms. Celine J taking this plea under first offender?
That's correct.
Ms. Celine J, are you asking to be treated as a first offender under the provisions of the First Offender Act?
Yes. According to my lawyer, yes.
Have you ever pleaded guilty or nolo contendere to, or ever been convicted of a felony in the state of Georgia or any other jurisdiction?
No.
Have you ever been sentenced for any crime, felony, or misdemeanor under the First Offender Act?
No.
Has your attorney explained what the First Offender Act is to you?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you violate the terms of your first offender sentence or commit a new offense while on first offender probation, your first offender status could be revoked, you could be adjudicated guilty, and you could be resentenced up to the maximum sentence for each charge in this indictment?
Yes.
Do you understand that a federal government considers a first offender plea a conviction for purposes of deportation and could still affect your ability to remain?
Yes.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights: the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to see and hear the witnesses called to testify against you, the right to the assistance of counsel, either hired by you or court appointed if you cannot afford an attorney, the right to the presumption of innocence, which means that the state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of these charges, the right to testify on your own behalf or remain silent, the right to present other evidence of your own and call your own witnesses, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial.
Yes.
Counsel, are you satisfied that your client understands that these are the rights that they'll be waiving by entering this guilty plea?
I do.
Ms. Celine J, has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter into this guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
As to indictment number 26 SC 000480, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated assault, and count 2, aggravated assault? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So, Ms. Shalenge, this is when you are going to tell me either you're pleading guilty, you want to resolve the case, or you're pleading not guilty, in which case we need to take you to trial on Monday in the aggravated assault case. So I'm assuming this is what you and Mr. Tiku had discussed.
Yes, I will take the plea Mr. Tiku and I discussed.
Okay, so then you are pleading guilty to the aggravated assault charges, is that correct?
Yes, whatever my lawyer presented, I am going with it.
Okay.
As to the other indictment, 25 CR 003136K, how do you plead to count 1, simple battery, and count 2, simple battery? Guilty or not guilty?
I will let my lawyer speak for me.
Well, he can speak for a moment, but then you're going to need to answer because it's a question of whether you are admitting responsibility for the misdemeanor case.
I do. I admit everything that I spoke with my lawyer.
Okay. Mr. Tiku, can you help us out with that?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Selenji, what we talked about is the fact that you had two cases, a state case and a superior court case, and you're going to plead guilty to both of those cases. And based on that, we consolidated the cases, so it's going to be one sentence. So it is my understanding with the discussion with you that you understood that.
Yes, yeah, we had spoken about that before. Yes.
Okay. So regarding 25 CR 003136K, how do you plead to count 1, simple battery, and count 2, simple battery? Guilty or not guilty? Ms. Linda.
Oh. Well, I'm going to according the agreement we had with my lawyer. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Tiku explained to me and to Ms. Smith that you were pleading guilty in both cases. Are you pleading guilty then in the misdemeanor case as well?
Yes.
Okay.
With everything my lawyer said, I agree.
Okay.
Do you understand that you do not have a right to appeal directly from your guilty plea conviction? But if you believe that there's some type of error in your guilty plea, you can apply to the appropriate appellate court to request a discretionary appeal.
Yes.
Do you also understand that that process has to be completed within 30 days from today?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lynn J. Your Honor, in the indictment ending in 0480, if this case were to proceed to trial, the facts would show that on January 9th, 2026, officers of the Roswell Police Department responded to a domestic call at 140 Worthing Hills. That's in Atlanta, Georgia, also that's in Fulton County. When the officers got there, they made contact with the reporting party in this case. Their initials are NS. They are a minor, and to my understanding, they are the nephew of the defendant in this case. When the officers got there, the reporting party told the officers that they had ongoing issues with Miss Kimberly Solange, the defendant in this case, including their grandmother, Nancy Solange, who isn't a victim in this case, but just reported in the police report. The reporting party told the officers that on the day, January 9th, 2026, the defendant got into a verbal altercation with her sister and also with other parties of the family, at which Miss Solange pulled out a knife from the kitchen and attempted to strike her sister with it, the victim in this case. And also after that, on the same day, she had an airsoft gun. She went into her nephew's room and pointed it at his bed. It was an airsoft gun. However, that's what she pointed at her nephew, which is why she has both of those ag assault charges that we have in front of us. When the officers got a chance to speak with Sheila, that's the victim in this case, and also Miss Lynn J's sister, she said that she's experienced similar threats from the defendant in this case in the past, and they've had other domestic violence incidents. However, she did say that she did not, the defendant in this case did not make contact with her when it came to the knife. However, she did have the knife with the intention of pointing it at her or intimidating her. At this time, the defendant was taken into custody for the charges we have in front of us. For the indictment ending in 136K, this was on December 2nd, 2023. Facts would show that the officers of Roswell Police Department responded to that same incident location. So 140 Worthington Hills in Fulton County. When the officers got there, they made contact with the defendant in this case, who was sitting outside. They asked the defendant what happened, and she told them that her and her sisters were having an argument about food. And when they asked specifically what about the food, the defendant stated that her sisters tried to take all of her food, and it's been an ongoing issue, so they got into a verbal altercation. The officers then entered the home where they got a chance to speak with Nancy and Sheila and also Beverly. They're all sisters and relatives of the defendant in this case. When they got a chance to speak with the victim, they stated that she got into a verbal altercation with the defendant in this case. At that time, she picked up a banana holder and threw it toward the victims in an attempt to make contact with them. The victims in this case were not harmed. However, that is what occurred as far as the simple battery in this case. I did get a chance to speak with the victim, and I got a chance to speak with the victim in the first case and also the victim in the second case, Miss Sheila. She told me that the ongoing issue she has with her sisters is just a sibling thing that's going on. She does not fear for her life, and she would like her sister to not be incarcerated for the crimes that we have before us. But those are the facts and circumstances for both of those indictments we have in front of us. As far as the negotiated plea between the state and defense, we've agreed to a sentence of 5 years to serve 2 months commuted to time served with the balance probated. regarding the special conditions of probation. We've agreed for the defendant to complete a family violence intervention program, to have no violent contact with the victims, and to also have a mental health evaluation with treatment if necessary. And that is all from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Shalenge, are you still there? We're not seeing you. I think we're seeing the ceiling of your apartment or house.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
What did you say?
I wanted to make sure you were still there. We couldn't see you.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay, you ready to keep going?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for all that. It was very thorough. I am going to ask pretrial services to let me know what criminal history, if any, they have on Ms. Shalenge.
Good morning. I show a total of 4 cycles. I do not see any convictions. I do see a cruelty to children in the 3rd degree from 2010. The disposition says record restricted per OCGA. And then she had a cruelty, and nothing further.
Okay, so 4 cycles, no convictions that you can find.
Correct, yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hutcherson. Mr. Tiku.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I asked that based on the fact that the victim doesn't want to go further with this case, based on the fact that my client doesn't have a conviction, I'm asking the court to accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. And you, Mr. Tiku, have discussed with Ms. Shalenge at least your views on the potential immigration impact of these pleas. I know that's not necessarily your expertise, but you've at least engaged with your client on that?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Shalenge, do you have any questions for me or anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Tell me where you were born.
Kenya,
How long have you been in the United States?
22 years.
Have you been working in the last few years?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
My last main important job I had before I turned myself with was with WealthStar.
And what did you do for Wellstar?
I was a nursing tech.
Okay. And do you still live with family at the Worthington Hills address?
Unfortunately, after all this happened and I turned myself in, I lost my place. And the only person I know in this country is my mother. And last I was in court, the judge allowed me to go back to 140, that's where my mother resides.
So you are living with your mother?
Yes.
Okay. You say the only person you know in this country is your mother, but my understanding was you were living with your sisters and a
They
nephew.
also live with my mother.
Okay. So you are all back together again?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a problem or is that going okay?
I honestly think it's not a good idea for me to be back in this home, but there's nothing else I can do. Like I say, she's the only one I know.
Okay. Well, Ms. Shalenge, I find there's a factual basis for your plea in both cases. You got upset and maybe other people got upset and you took some steps that frightened other people. And you need to be careful about that going forward. I also find that your pleas are voluntary, meaning no one's forcing you to enter this plea, but you've decided to enter your 2 pleas after speaking with your lawyer and having confidence in his advice. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
And a knowing plea simply means you've understood the things we talked about after your lawyer helped you understand them, but you feel like you know what's going on right now. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Mr. Tiku, do you authorize someone in my office to sign the indictment on the felony case and the accusation in the misdemeanor case for both you and your client?
I do, Judge.
Ms. Smith, can someone sign for you?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Ms. Shalenge, you are asking to be sentenced as a first offender in your felony case, and I will do that. That means that it is not a conviction. It is still something that might cause immigration authorities to take action, but significantly, it's not a conviction, which will help with employment. If you try to get further education, it will not be an obstacle to that. You'll still be under sentence and you'll still need to abide by the conditions of your sentence.
Okay.
That's the upside of first offender. The downside of first offender that I need to make sure you understand is that if you get in trouble while you are on this sentence, and by trouble, I mean you get arrested, not that you get into an argument with someone, but you actually get arrested. Not only would you have new charges, but you would come back into court and the state could argue for, and I could decide to resentence you without a trial up to the maximum in your case. And in your felony case, that would be 40 years. I'm not saying that's what would happen, but I am letting you know that if we are together again in 6 months or a year, because you threw something at a sister or you swung at your nephew, and you got arrested for that, and there's evidence that that happened, then you could lose your first offender status and you might well be resentenced to some time in custody. Do you feel like you understand that consequence?
Yes.
Do you still want to be sentenced as a first offender?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. Your sentence as to count 1 in 26 SC 000480 is 5 years to serve 1 month. You actually did less than 2, more than 1. So I'm going to sentence you to 1 month, but you've already served that month with a balance on probation. Same sentence for count 2. They'll run concurrently or at the same time. And 3 special conditions of probation. 1, you're going to have no violent contact with your family members. 2, you will complete a family violence intervention program, and you need to enroll in that program within the first 2 months of probation. You don't have to finish it, but you need to get started within the first 2 months of probation. Also, within the first 2 months of probation, you need to have a mental health evaluation so that a medical professional can recommend if there's any treatment that's appropriate, whether that's medication or therapy or what. And that medical professional may say there's no issue here at all, but that person may say that you would benefit from A or B or C. And those recommendations of the medical professional will become a condition of your probation. Your sentence in 25 CR 003, I need you to remind me, Ms. Smith, how many counts are in that?
2 counts, Judge, of simple battery.
Okay, then this is the banana holder.
Yes, correct.
Simple battery. Okay, Ms. Shalenge, in that case, 25 CR 003 136K, as in Kappa, your sentence for both counts is 1 month to serve. You've already served that month, so that case will be closed out, and you'll be on probation in the felony case. Do you have any questions about anything I've said about what your sentence is?
No, sir.
Mr. Tiku, anything else on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, anything else?
Nothing further, thank you.
Ms. Simpson, good morning. Could you chime in and let Mr. Tiku and Ms. Shalenge know what her reporting requirements are?
Good morning. So Ms. Shalenge, is the same address that you're staying at the same address that's in the system for you to receive court notices?
Yes.
Okay, so
140 Worthington Hills, Trace.
It is. I'm looking at it, Ms. Simpson. That is it. So if you go into Odyssey, that's the address.
okay, and that is a Fulton County address?
Yes.
Okay, so your reporting date will be June the 26th at 8 a.m. And you're going to report to the Atlanta Probation Office. That address is 276 Memorial Drive. That's in Atlanta, and the zip code is 30303.
Ms. Shalenge, do you feel like you've got that information? Do you need your lawyer to get it to you? Or I want to make sure you don't want to miss that first meeting, because then they just send me a warrant saying we can't find this person.
I think I got it June 26th, 8 a.m., 276 Memorial Drive, zip code 30303.
That's correct.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everyone. Ms. Shalenge, Mr. Tiku, you are free to go.